Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages.
Why do you have to yell at us?
Today, because that's the introduction to all my videos. Today we're going to talk briefly about comparing decimals. Comparing decimals. You're not writing anything right now because you'll get some stuff to put in your journals later. Comparing decimals is what we're going to talk about today. Thus far, you have gone out to the hundredths place. The hundredths place is very similar to money. So when I have numbers that go out to the hundredths place, if I had this number, I would think of it as $327.87. Easy. But if it went out to the thousandths place, then I'm thinking, I can't think of it as money. But let's compare it to money. I can't think of it as money because your American money doesn't go out to the thousandths place. But as we move to the right, behind the decimal point, is the value, not the number itself, the value of the numbers getting smaller or bigger? Anyone? Smaller. The hundredths place is 1/10 of the tenths place. The thousandths place is 1/10 in value. What do you mean by 1/10? Well, the hundredths place is if I had, and I'm going to try and draw this. My artistic talent is very minimal. Seven, 8, 9, 10, and ideally these would all be equal if you had a teacher that could draw.
But everyone can draw.
Well, all right. So if we were talking about how these are a tenth of, each time I'm going to the right, it's a tenth of it. So if I'm talking about one whole, let's just make this one whole, and we'll make it 1/10. I'm going to make these all ones, just so you can see it. If I have one whole, this here is one whole. 1/10 is only one of these 10 parts. So it's 1/10 of the ones. So it's 1/10. It's getting smaller. And 100th is just one square. So if I made this is 100th, which means it's 1 out of the 10 parts of 100, or of a tenth. I don't know how to speak today. And 1,000th means you take each hundredth and divide it into 10 equal parts, and pretend that's 10, and divide it into 10 equal parts. So 1,000th would be like this much. There are 10 thousandths in a hundredth. There are 10 hundredths in a tenth. Yes.
So with decimals, the lower the number, the higher?
The further we go to the right behind the decimal point, the smaller the value of it is.
Okay.
Okay? Make sense?
Yeah.
All right. So just so you know that that's getting smaller. Now, when we compare decimals, let me take two decimal numbers. Let's take 37 and 84 hundredths and 37 and 9 tenths. Okay? If you had an assignment like this and it was talking in big boy and big girl language, it would say, complete the inequalities. inequalities are less than, greater than, or equal to signs. So if it says complete the inequalities, that's simply less than, greater than, or equal to sign. I know you guys know the answer to this, but I'm going to show you. I need to show you first because you're going to do some problems. Some of you today, some of you later in this week, because we're going to get in groups. We're going to divide up and you're going to be doing different things. But first, to solve, we notice this goes out to the hundredths place. This goes out to the tenths place. How can I compare two completely different things? Let me tell you how. Let me tell you how. This is exciting. So please keep your excitement down. If I have two numbers I'm comparing, I'm going to write them directly over top of each other, lining up my ones place below my ones place, my tenths place below my tenths place, basically lining up the decimal points. So now I have my ones over, or my tens over my tens, my ones over my ones, my decimal point over my decimal point, my tenths over my tenths, and my hundredths over nothing. So now I'm going to think of it as money. I have 9 dimes, but I have no pennies. So what can I put in this hundredths place? A 0. This is called annexing a 0, which means if I'm behind the decimal point, I could put zeros on here. I could put 3,286 zeros on here if I want, and I'm not changing the value. Because that's saying I'm adding 0 hundredths. I'm adding 0 thousandths. I'm adding 0 ten thousandths. And I'm just putting those zeros there. I'm annexing them so that they line up appropriately. And then you've all compared numbers before. We're going to look at our tens place. Our tens, yes! Let's go with Team Shake App. Because I paid 99 cents for Team Shake App, and I am going to get my money's worth on it. So let's change classes. Cancel. Let's change classes. Load and edit list.
You wrote the number wrong. Yeah.
Did I?
Click on the bottom. 87.
84. Thank you. Thank you. Sometimes I get ahead of myself. Let's go in class 2, Team Shake. Reese! Why is Reese not here? Has she ever been here?
No.
Okay, let me make sure I take Reese off. Phoenix, what number is in the tens place? The 3. They both have the same number in the tens place. Boom, team shaking it up. Caden, what number's in the ones place? 7. They both have the same number. So we don't have a difference yet. Riley, what number is in the tenths place?
For which one?
Oh, so you're saying there's difference.
Uh-huh.
Good. So here's our first place where we have a difference. So which one is bigger of those tenths place? 9. Once I find the bigger number, then that's telling me 37 and 84 hundredths is less than 37 and 9 tenths. I don't, because we're in 5th grade and we don't want to sound like we're 3rd graders, we don't say the open end is towards 37 and 9 tenths. We're going to say less than. We're not going to say the alligator is eating the bigger number. Which is what you said before, isn't it?
I stopped that in first.
Yes.
Which is what you said before.
We
We need to know what these symbols mean. Less than, greater than, equal to. I'm gonna tell you that in one of my classes that I've taught today, I'm not going to tell you which one, because you couldn't figure it out since I've only taught one other class. I showed them this, and then I said, all right, you're going to do some of these. And then they went, I don't get it. I'd be like, did you show work like we done on the board? Oh yeah. And then all of a sudden
I saw that coming.
they get it once they
Show the work.
show their work. Like they just want. If I just sit here and think something above, maybe a bird will fly in and tell me my answer in my ear. Doesn't work that way. Doesn't work that way.
But what if
So let's look at. We have 4 and 44 hundredths. 4 and 44,000. The only place value you're ever going to say, you're not going to say 0 tenths, 4 hundredths, and 4 thousandths. You just kind of say it, the last one behind the decimal point. So really, in 5th grade, you're going to end, if they have decimals, your last word's either going to be tenths, hundredths, or thousandths. Tenths, hundredths, or thousandths. Matthew, what is step 1 to do this?
You write the numbers over. You write like that. Yeah.
Awesome. So I'm lining up
Yeah.
my place values. Ones place over ones. Tens place over tenths. Hundredths place over hundredths place. Very good. And Isabel, my next step is what?
To add a 0 to the top.
Good. I'm going to annex a 0 so that they all, since this one already goes out to the thousandths place, I want this one to go out to the thousandths place. Zin, question?
What country is annexing the 0?
You know what? I've played the game Risk. Have you ever played the game Risk?
I have.
Yes. I put the.
I think if you play it in the German edition, they annex zeros
What do you mean?
in the
what do you
German
mean by
edition.
annexing?
So I'm just stealing that.
What do you mean by
Daniel! Daniel, on my ones place is different.
No.
No. Tenths.
Yeah.
Yes. So here's my first difference right here. Is one of those greater than the other one?
Yes.
Yes. So the one with a 4 in the tenths place is greater. So 4 and 44 hundredths is greater than 4 and 44 thousandths. Let me tell you a little hint that's going to help you later. But please do not tell the people that are watching in Chad, Africa. That's a country in Africa,
I
Chad.
know where it is.
It's also my second son's name, the one that goes to OU. Boomer.
Sooner!
Very good. All right. When you're adding and subtracting numbers with decimals, wait for it. Wait for it. When you're adding and subtracting decimals, you line them up the same way. You annex the zeros the same way.
What does annex mean again?
You're putting the 0 in to hold the place value.
I lost my
And you're doing it all the same way, and then you just add or subtract. So, boom shakalaka. I've taught you how to compare decimals, and boom shakalaka. In that amount of time, I've taught you how to add or subtract decimals. Don't tell the kids in Chad, Africa,
Why?
because I'm the boss. Boom shakalaka. Peace out. God bless. Love ya. Do something kind today.